Crude oil, cocoa, coffee, cotton, gold, copper and iron ore are some of the resources exported in their raw form to various markets outside Africa. It is estimated that Africa loses about $100 billion annually by exporting raw materials. Experts argue that processed products could generate revenues up to 10 times higher than those earned from unprocessed exports. This was one of the key issues that were discussed during a meeting in Washington, D.C., where African representatives gathered to commemorate Africa Day and brainstorm on how their countries can better benefit from their natural resources and promote development. According to participants, Africa has many products and resources capable of generating substantial revenue and driving economic growth.
Extensive discussions, for example, investments in critical minerals, but we also looked at energy, and we also looked at health, and really looking at ways where we can have economic and commercial development.
However, many African countries continue to export their products with little or no value addition, including some resources that are often neglected.
There is now investment into processing cashews on the continent, and I had the opportunity to visit a cashew processing plant in right outside of Abidjan, and it was very impressive because they had the latest kind of equipment, they had gotten financing.
Despite this challenge, delegates in the meeting maintained that African countries have the capacity to process and add value to their products and should therefore place greater emphasis on industrialization and value addition.
I think a lot more of that needs to happen. So we're not saying it's done everything, but I can also verify that there are some things that are happening in value addition on the continent. We just have to do more.
Uganda's ambassador to the United States, Robbie Kakonge, noted that Uganda possesses significant tourism potential that can greatly contribute to the country's development. Kakonge believes that African countries have enormous potential to support one another through trade, given the continent's large population, which provides a stronger and reliable market for goods and services.
Of course, with the growth of the African population, you begin to see that there's potential for investment. But more importantly, it's also a market. So for example, when you look at East Africa, that's already nearly 450 million. That is the population. So what does that number mean? It means investments in different areas. It means growth. It means a whole market, a young market, and a vibrant market.
Meanwhile, Nicholas Cheka, Deputy Assistant Secretary in the Bureau of African Affairs, reaffirmed the United States' readiness to work with African nations to strengthen their economies and promote economic growth.
This is why national sovereignty is at the very core of the Trump administration's new approach. As Secretary Rubio has said, the primacy of national interest governs our engagement with other states, and diplomacy is defined by sober, pragmatic dialogue and guided by the axiom that rational global actors will act for the benefit of their people and their...
And last but not least, talk about the fact that AGOA is a program that benefits both U.S. and Africa. That there are U.S. companies, U.S. workers, and U.S. consumers that benefit from AGOA.
Africa.